sponsored by a sunscreen.
Okay, you're live.
We're live now.
Yep.
Can you see my watch tan?
Watch line.
Oh,
you have to like. There it is.
See my watch tan.
Yeah.
The thing is, your
Punch you in the face.
burn is gone.
Oh, I'm still burned in my armpit.
Just in your one armpit.
Yes, because I laid with my shirt off with my arm in the air. that whole day.
I didn't change color in any way, shape, or form.
Not at all.
Me and Emily were talking about that, how you don't tan anymore.
I don't tan
That's
anymore.
crazy.
And then I was so lathered in sunscreen every day so well that
Everything
didn't
was all
get burned.
protected. I was.
my nose got a little burned on Sunday. And then it was
That's the best. That's the best tan I got.
that's all you wanted.
That's all I wanted to
Was a
watch
tan
out.
line.
Like.
Easier to adjust the lighting today because they're so tan now.
I'm so tan.
I don't even have to adjust the line.
I'm pasty white.
I'm
Me
so
and
tan.
that white, wherever that white tile is, we're the same color.
Kind of.
See? Can't tell.
Yeah, we
Is
should
it
have
me?
brought
Is
in
it
that
the
she was
white tile?
Hawaiian.
Oh, yeah. And of course, Daisy got off the plane and was instantly darker. So,
Just by walking into Mexico, like,
Mhm.
oh, you're here, my child. Golden bronze.
Yeah,
Zing.
golden bronze. Oh, you're here.
Kissed by sunlight.
Get a stomach ache. I still never understand how we can all travel together. And the one whose ancestors are from Mexico gets sick every time. And
They're
those of us-
punishing me.
I think they're punishing you for
for my
leaving.
ancestors leaving the land.
Leaving the
They're
land.
punishing you for leaving.
Oh, God.
You gotta stop yawning.
Oh,
Yeah, you need to
I
pull
think
it
about that
together.
dinner.
Oh,
Sometimes
that
a few
was
times a
so
day.
cool.
I give you caffeine. How are you falling asleep?
There was caffeine in that?
Light
Did you have
caffeine.
this?
Yeah.
She got us the exact same thing.
No, mine wasn't the same. I got
It's the same but different.
He got
a
mango.
different color.
Okay,
I
we
didn't
are
like the
live
mango
on
as much.
Insta.
We're live on Insta. What's up, Insta? You guys are on a different device up there. We have to remember to.
You need a diet root beer or something.
No, I'm okay. Thank you.
I don't think we have diet root beer, do we?
We are live
find
on
it.
YouTube.
It's not caffeinated.
And we're live on YouTube.
I'll make it happen.
What's up,
Root beer's
YouTube?
not caffeinated.
Which screen or camera is YouTube? That's down here with this one, right? So the only one that's on its own is Instagrams.
Yeah. So Facebook and YouTube are on the big one.
Okay. Instagrams. Sweet.
I don't have anything about
And
YouTube.
TikTok doesn't get us.
TikTok doesn't get us.
What's funny is we're about to start, and there's only like
Well, it's just Bailey.
there's nobody here.
No,
Oh, there's two.
Oh, what's up, Insta?
But we usually have people join us when I share the active live session and people start.
Oh,
filtering
yeah.
out directly from it.
All right. Well, we'll wait for about 30 seconds, then we'll start. That's
Okay.
hilarious.
If I push on it, I can hear.
That's so
Wait,
weird.
wait, and then it goes. Can't hear.
Goes away. Hey, we have to talk about something else that happened at our office last week because,
Last week?
or the week before we left,
Oh, maybe we weren't here.
we had our 10th ever born, raised Las Vegas
Oh,
local.
yeah. It was crazy.
So you guys, if you haven't been to my office for a consultation, you wouldn't know this. But everybody who has a consultation and they sit in the consultation chair, which is right over there, I ask them all the same question. I say, are you born and raised in Las Vegas? And we have had hundreds, I don't want to say that, I don't want to take a guess in the real number, hundreds of patients
Hundreds and hundreds.
have sat in that chair. And there's only been 10 ever, total people ever
But until 2
born
weeks
and
ago,
raised.
it
It
had
was
been 9.
It had been 9 for 6 months.
Yeah, it had been 9 for months.
And then randomly somebody's in the chair and they're like, well, are you born and raised in Las Vegas? Like, born and raised? I'm like,
Like,
what?
No way.
no way.
I was like, where?
That never happens.
Where'd you grow
Prove
up?
it.
Yeah.
Don't lie to us. We'll
He's like,
find
I
you.
remember when the Thomas and Mack was built. I'm like, all right,
All
you're
right,
in.
you're probably- So what's up, guys? Welcome. Thanks for joining us this wonderful Friday morning, afternoon, depending on where you're at. Noon here.
Noon.
So it's noon everywhere, at least in the U.S.
Except in Hawaii.
Oh, no, I don't know. So we are going to talk today about the 3-on-6 provider summit that was all last week in Cancun. And I have to sneeze so bad.
It was heartbreaking that it was in Cancun. Bless you, buddy.
Right in my microphone.
yeah.
Perfect.
Oh my gosh.
Perfect.
Guys, I'm so sorry. I just sneezed right in the microphone. I did not mean to do that.
Can you introduce yourself?
Oh, yeah, okay. I'm Dr. Emett at All Out Dental in Las Vegas, Nevada. And this is
I'm Tiffany. I'm Dr. Emmett's assistant.
Tiffany Terry in Las Vegas, Nevada. And we do 3-on-6. We're an office that the only procedure we do is the 3-on-6 surgical procedure. We've been doing it exclusively now for several years. We've done over 150 cases and like 170.
Yeah.
170, 80, I don't know. But it's all we do. right? Every day in, day out. We did surgery this week. An amazing case. Totally transformed this patient. I cannot wait for you guys to see her pictures.
So cool.
Um,
so cool.
Even before she was like leaving after surgery, the whole staff was just blown away at how amazing her results were. So, and then we saw her yesterday. She was so happy.
Oh,
She just could not stop
beaming.
grinning. Yeah.
And her niece that picked her up was like, I've never seen her smile. And now she can't stop smiling. And it was right after she woke up from sedation. We're like, yep.
What's
Yeah, she
up,
looked
David
awesome.
Hunter? Hello.
What's up?
So anyway, the whole time that we're going to be talking today about the topics we have prepared, we also have a bunch of questions we're going to answer live for everybody. But I just want to make sure you know, as you're watching this live on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you are, you can submit your questions live today and we will answer them live for you today. So if you are an existing 3-on-6 patient, you're considering 3-on-6, did JMO just join? What's up, JMO? So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to put them in the chat. We're happy to answer them.
Yes.
We've got some great help in studio today. We have Bailey. She's back there monitoring all the channels. And so she's watching for your live questions as they come through and she'll make sure that we get them.
And Daisy just making sure.
And Daisy's here making sure we don't mess up. So
putting them on airplane mode right now.
okay. So again, last week was the Provider Summit. So what is the Provider Summit? I'm going to talk way too much today unless I give you assignments.
No, this is great.
No.
What is
I'm
the
asking
provider?
you. So you tell
She's
everybody.
watching from her pedicure chair. I love that.
Oh
Good
my
for
gosh,
you,
good for
JMO.
you.
Yeah, you ask him.
Okay.
What
I'm going to,
is
you're going to ask me,
Provider Summit?
what is a Provider Summit? Thanks. So every year, the 3-on-6 providers are invited and encouraged to attend a Provider Summit. And the point of the summit is to get all of us together.
Yeah.
So we do some really cool things. We're going to talk about those things that we did this year. But the point is to get all of us 3-on-6 providers together at the same place at the same time to have conversations. And some of the best stuff that happens isn't even in the setup or structured events.
In like the course sections.
Yeah, because we have live courses we took and we learned a lot together as a group, but it's the conversations and the development that's happening and the relationships that are being built between all the providers. Like what they're doing, what's working, what's helping, what challenges they're running into, how they're dealing with those challenges. So it's really fun to just get there and be in a place with like-minded people who are doing what we do every day.
Yes.
So I think that's the goal of the summit. Now the summit for us was a week long.
Yes.
How come we were a week-long summit?
We're spoiled. No, last year we were in Cabo and we went down only for the summit days.
That's right.
And you and I were in a classroom all day, every day, and we never even saw the beach. I think we walked on the beach once.
I know, so sad.
And we were like, you know what? Next year we're gonna go a couple of extra days and actually have a little bit of a vacation. It's probably gonna be kind of our only vacation this year since you're moving and doing a bunch of other stuff. Yeah. And then we've got tons of
air conditioner
courses.
down. It's freezing.
We've got tons of courses coming up that you're teaching at. And so that was probably the vacation for the year.
Yeah.
So we went down Sunday to Sunday.
Yeah.
Which was great.
So we spent a whole week there.
Yeah.
So what we thought we'd do is just go by day and tell you what we did. But the first 3 days we kind of just hung out.
So on Sunday.
So we got there
Thankfully
Sunday,
we win.
which was amazing, which is also your birthday.
I know I wore a shirt all day long that said it's my birthday.
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
Lots of people told me happy birthday.
So we traveled on your birthday, which was great.
Lots of fun.
We got there and then we couldn't check in to our room yet, but we could go to the beach and to the cabanas.
Yes.
And so we were on the beach and we just kind of hung out all day on the beach.
Yes. Shout out to Jose and Manuel for keeping us well stocked.
Well hydrated.
Well, very or dehydrated, depending on how you look at it. But yeah, Sunday was awesome.
We got a couple of hellos and highs and an aloha from Maui. What's up? Aloha. So we had a couple of days to hang out. We went and did a scuba dive, don't say a snorkeling. It felt more like an episode of Survivor.
Yeah, 0 out of 10 would not recommend.
Because we were just on the way to Islet Mujeres. Did I say that right?
Really cool.
Mujeres?
Islas.
Daisy says it way better. We were on our way there. We stopped on the way there to go snorkeling.
But if you've ever been to Mexico, there's one thing that they always keep handing you. They hand you alcohol over and over and over again. So you're already a little buzzed, and then they push you out of the boat and tell you to swim.
Yeah. So imagine
it
like
was-
80 mostly drunk people
Yeah, it was
trying to
so-
swim
so aggressive. They were
and
yelling.
snorkel. And fast.
Swim
It was a fast snorkeling.
Yeah,
But it was fun to go to the island. We hung out at the island. It was really
cool.
fun, really
Yeah,
pretty.
The island was really cool. We rented a go kart and drove
Yeah.
around the island.
That was really fun.
that was a lot of fun.
Got to go sightseeing. So we had a good time on that adventure,
Yes.
and then kind of just hanging out more at the hotel, on the beach. The beach, just so you guys know, if you're considering going to Mexico soon, we've been quite a bit up and down that coast near Cancun, all the way down to Playa del Carmen, like down to Tulum, and but this beach was phenomenal. There was
the
no
best.
seaweed.
Yeah.
We literally just got to hang out in the ocean and play in the water
And
anytime.
the waves were just enough that they were fun, but not aggressive to where you.
Too scary.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was. I don't like the water. I don't like the ocean.
You
And
did
I
great, though. You were out there swimming and having a good time.
Yeah, I spent tons of time in the water, so it was a lot of fun.
Okay. So we got to hang out on the beach a lot and
Yes.
had a really good time. So now let's talk about the first day of the course,
Wednesday.
which I feel like, from my perspective, was the most valuable thing I got out of the course.
Yeah.
So what did we do on Wednesday?
When we walked out of the course on Wednesday, you said that was worth it.
Every
Every
penny, all the time we
yeah.
spent, whatever the investment was to go there.
Having to close the office for the week. And
Yeah, I got all of my value from the course. I
Yes.
could have gone home Wednesday from the course and been like, I'm good. That was so helpful.
we just don't go to the rest of the course. We're like, all right, we're good.
So what was
we
Wednesday?
saw Dr. Dan Holtzclaw came down and taught
So let's talk about Dr.
implants.
Holtzclaw real quick.
Mhm.
Who is Dr. Holtzclaw?
He's a periodontist that wrote the book on pterygoid implants
Wrote the book. And
And-
zygomatic.
and zygomatic implants. Yes.
Which, if you don't know, we talk about this during your consultation sometimes, but pterygoid implants go into a very special piece of bone way, way far back in the back. And zygomatic implants are used for patients who have lost most of their bone in their mouth, and they can go up underneath of your eye.
Mhm.
Now, we went and took Dr. Holtzclaw's cadaver course
Last
a year ago
Yeah, last
here in
year.
Las Vegas. And we didn't really we did hands-on,
Yeah.
but it was on a cadaver.
Yeah.
And it was,
That's
Guys,
that's all we can say. about
I
it.
don't want to talk too much about how cadaver courses work in dentistry, but it's pretty gruesome.
It's a very strange.
Yeah,
It's very strange.
it was good to go get the education, but I didn't feel like I left that going, wow, I really am good at pterygoids.
Sweet, I can go do these in
Yeah.
my office all the time.
I left there and I was like, okay, well, now we know how it works, but I'm not in love with it.
Yeah.
Now, we do a lot of pterygoids in my office already. But
what was cool is last course that we took with him, there was 50 of us in the room.
That's true.
And this time, last week, there was
25 of us?
or less.
20? Yeah.
Yeah, it was a
I
much
literally was like,
smaller group.
from me to the camera, from Dad
Oh,
Holtzclaw.
If you don't know Dr. Emett very well, he has to sit in the front of the class.
I
And we
do.
have to get there 20 minutes before anything starts.
That's true. I'm a punctual teacher's
So
pet.
the course started at 9 a.m. So we were there at 8:30, which means we had breakfast at 7:45.
But we got a front row seat. We could hear everything, and I could ask questions right from Dr. Dan
Yes.
Holtzclaw.
It was
pretty amazing.
yes.
So
Now, where did we sit the rest of the course?
in that same spot.
Because we can't switch seats.
No, you can't switch what you've sat down once. That's your assigned seat for the remainder of the course. So that was our assigned
Yeah,
seat.
that was our assigned seat.
So we got training on pterygoid implants. So instead of we didn't do very much. We didn't talk hardly at all about zygomatic implants,
Mhm.
which was great. And here's why: in 3-on-6, and then what we do have a reason to do pterygoid implants.
Yeah.
Now we do them all the time, and we do them guided.
Right.
And what we learned
We did some Wednesday.
yeah, we do pterygoids all the time. But what we learned at the course was really good how to do them freehand.
Mhm.
And that's a good skill set to have. It's a necessary thing if
absolutely.
you're doing a lot of pterygoids. But what was cool, and the reason I felt so happy with that experience, is we got models.
Mhm.
So we had a hands-on where
They're at my house.
I was gonna say, did you bring one? You left them home.
They're sitting on my table.
So we literally got to use a handpiece and use the drill sequence and place implants into a very good anatomical model.
Yeah, more realistic type model.
Yeah. So instead of just placing implants in a cadaver,
I would say the model was more realistic than the cadaver.
because our cadaver had some,
Severe
trouble.
bone loss, and once the cadaver's been prepped to be worked on,
the
the
bone's
bone
not
quality
the same. It's
changes.
like
and
weird.
it's like soft and squishy.
So it was really helpful. So we got this whole lecture
yes.
on exactly why we do pterygoids, how we do them, the protocol,
Yeah.
what the target of the bone density, the drilling sequence.
Who qualifies? Who
Yeah.
doesn't qualify? He went through a bunch of CT scans with us, showing us.
Yeah,
What you're
from the
looking
guy
for.
who wrote the book
Yeah.
about doing pterygoid implants.
Yeah.
So we got to do really, what's
Can
up?
you tell them what a pterygoid implant is?
Yeah.
Okay,
You just
everybody in the
did
back.
A whole big thing about pterygoids, and that's a big word most people don't
Okay,
know.
so pterygoid is actually spelled how?
with a P.
Like
P-T-E-R.
pterodactyl.
Yeah. Y-G-O-I-D.
Yeah, if you could go find
Oh,
Frank, go get Frank my scope.
Keep
So
going.
Frank's on the shelf. in the back.
pterygoid implant gets its name from the target bone for the pterygoid. Jennifer, I have a pterygoid implant. Okay, I can't remember your case right now. You might. I'll look at it. They're very common. I do them all the time.
I actually think she does have pterygoid.
Yeah. So we do a lot of pterygoid. Oh,
This is
thank you so much.
This is
the bottom.
This is we call him Frank. If you've ever been to our office, you've met Frank probably. So here's Frank, and
Like our office you've met Frank.
I'm going to
He's our fifth employee.
I'm going to take off Frank's mandible. So poor Frank. Now, if you look up underneath Frank's mouth right here, you can see this bone. Oh, this is so hard to do. Right. Oh, there we go. Okay. That's a pterygoid bone. You point to him.
This is pterygoid.
So there's the medial pterygoid
There's pterygoid.
and
Medial
lateral pterygoid. You have it on both
Lateral
sides.
pterygoid.
So
Medial meaning towards your midline.
yeah, good
So
job.
the
Nice catch.
medial is the inside one.
So
Lateral is the outside
If
one.
a patient doesn't have,
show the
oh,
grammars.
there you go,
It's
Graham.
okay, I zoomed in.
Okay, thanks. So if a patient does not have adequate bone height through this region here, the back of their mouth,
Which is very common for patients who have been missing those teeth for a long
Yeah,
time.
very
or wearing
common.
a denture for a long time. Or
then a
Lots
lot
of
of this
reasons.
bone that's up around there gets really mushy. It's not very strong, good bone. But this bone right here, the pterygoid bone, stays really strong. And our target for a pterygoid implant is this medial wing on both sides. So the medial wing of that pterygoid bone. So when we talk about that, you can see that that's really far back. So it takes a very specific surgical approach to place a pterygoid implant.
You can't take it off like Frank.
Right.
Yeah,
we can't
you
just take
can't
off your
take
jaw
lower jaw.
like I did on
Pop it
Frank
off.
just barely. So
Man, that would be helpful.
it's a really advanced implant to place, but if you do it the right way and you know how to do it, it's very safe and it's very predictable. There's a lot of important structures that are back there in your mouth and in your skull that you have to be very careful to avoid. But if you follow the protocol, you're going to
You're
avoid
gonna
those
avoid
things. You'll
them.
be totally fine.
Which
So,
is what Dr. Holtzclaw went into lots and lots of detail.
yeah.
on.
So for a long time in the lecture, we're learning about how to identify the correct landmarks and how to stay out of the danger zone, out of the plexus and out of the lateral aspect and stay out of the wrong places. Now for us, we kind of cheat all the time because we do a guided.
Mhm.
And when you use a guide, we can get that implant placed in the exact right spot. But where freehand pterygoid comes into play is sometimes you're in the middle of surgery
Yes.
and you go to put an implant into some bone in the back and there's no bone or too mushy. And then we say call an audible.
Yeah.
Now you'd have to look at what are your other alternatives in the middle of surgery. And one of those that's very reliable is the pterygoid.
Yes.
All right. Did that help answer, Bailey,
Yes.
from the questions people were asking? Okay. So that's what a pterygoid implant is. So we learned all about pterygoid implants and then we got to place pterygoid implants into a
On the
model
which was really cool.
and then have an expert look at our model
Yeah.
and say, good job, or so I would have done it a little bit different. I think that was really, really helpful. And the whole room is drilling on their models and making these models. And I think it was really good for everybody.
He like when he came over and he was looking at my model. I wasn't drilling. I had a model, but I wanted my model to have just be
Hold on,
left
first
alone.
off, she's the only person in the entire room that got a model who is not a doctor.
It's true.
Because I kind of take Tiffany everywhere I go. If you guys haven't figured that out by now,
Kinda
all the
spoiled.
trainings and all the stuff, but literally on the paper it listed Dr. Tiffany Terry.
Yeah, much to my brother's dismay, who graduates from medical school next week, I was like, I just signed up for some courses and I get called
I just hang
doctor
out
all the
with Dr.
time.
Emett,
He's
I'm a
like, you're the
doctor.
worst. Yeah. But he came over and I had my model and there's certain instrumentation that you use to help kind of get your angulation and everything right. And I was holding it. He goes, "Yeah, perfect. Let's drill."
And
I was like,
wait a second.
"Oh, I don't want to drill on mine." I was like, "Oh, I don't. Nah, I'm good. I like my model."
Yeah. So that was really, really good. And
Very helpful, super, super educational. Wonderful that he was 10 feet away and
Yeah.
we were able to ask some, I mean, what you would consider easy questions now, but
in
then
the moment, I wanted to know the answer.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's totally true.
super cool.
So one thing I neglected to bring up so far is every 3-on-6 provider, period, to stay a 3-on-6 provider, either has to attend the summit
Mhm.
or they have to watch all of the videos from the
Like
summit
live, yeah.
and watch. And so it's as if they participated. And there's good reason for that, because now we know that every 3-on-6 provider has the exact same training for the pterygoid implants, right? And this isn't just like luck or happenstance that Dr. Holtzclaw happened to be there. It's very, very
Oh,
expensive.
it takes, I think we got on his schedule a year ago.
year ago?
I think while we were in Cabo last year, we were talking about
Bringing
having
him out.
Yeah, like I think we
So this is like
Crazy.
world class, cutting edge,
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it, the best education. And it was just customized for us as 3-on-6 providers. So now we can say with confidence, anybody who was there, any 3-on-6 provider, your 3-on-6 provider in your state, wherever you are, or in Canada, he was there. If your provider was at the course, they now have it's very specific, hands-on with live model,
Mhm.
like how to do a pterygoid implant,
Yeah, had a freehand pterygoid implant.
which was really, really good. It just makes sure everybody's on the same level. This is very advanced stuff. So it was really good to get that training.
Absolutely.
So I could have left after Wednesday and been happy.
Yeah.
Not really because I missed the beach, but I could have left the course and been happy. But it doesn't end there. No. What did we do Wednesday night?
What did we do?
Dinner somewhere?
Oh, that's when we walked down to Bubba Gump Shrimp. We kidnapped Dr. Schwant and Dr. Locke and
Went down to
Tori
Bubba Gump Shrimp.
and
yeah.
walked down to Bubba
It was
Gump
really
Shrimp.
delicious.
Yeah, if you've never been to Bubba Gump Shrimp, which I'd never had,
The funny thing is, I've never been to one either.
I had never been to one, but I was like, oh, I like the movie.
Might
Like,
as well go to it in Mexico.
yeah, let's go. And it was delicious.
It was
now,
really good.
I don't eat a lot of shrimp. That's a texture thing. So I just had fried chicken, and seriously, it was the best fried chicken I've ever had. I was like, who knew I had to go to Mexico to get fried chicken?
on the way to Bubba Gump's,
Oh my gosh, you guys.
we jaywalked
For the
across the
record,
highway in Mexico.
For the record, Daisy and I had started walking.
They left early, so
before.
they
We
didn't get to
walked a
see
few
any of
minutes.
this.
Yeah, but then Dr. Emmett was walking with the other doctors, and
I went to alley-oop and jump over the median, and I stepped on a dirt clot and totally rolled my ankle and just
and
about
almost
died.
fell into the street where there's cars.
All the cars had to
zipping
stop
by.
and they're honking.
They're
and
yelling at him.
yelling because we weren't jaywalking, but it was a total disaster.
They don't.
Yeah,
stop.
nobody's stopping.
No.
The black ones don't stop.
Yeah, no.
That little black
cars,
car was just not going
they'll
to stop.
Swerve towards you.
So I
Well,
made it though. I did make it to dinner, but it was iffy for a
But for
second.
the rest of the week, we had to hear about how he rolled his ankle.
Yeah.
There is a video somewhere of someone reenacting this
Oh,
ankle
no.
roll.
It was pretty traumatic. I'm okay though, guys. In case
It
you're
was
worried about me,
really
I'm
funny.
doing just fine.
We
Okay,
put some pain salve on it. He's fine.
so we had dinner. We go back to training the next day, and the next day it gets great again.
Mhm.
So Dr. Meda,
Mhm.
MEDA, he is
Ramon Gomez Meta.
he's one of the top experts in the world about soft tissue management and surgical procedures.
He had flown in from like
Dubai
Dubai
the
day
night before, and the next day he was flying out to
Brazil or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
This guy-
we've got on his schedule 2 years ago.
2 years ago. This guy is extremely what's the right word? Sought after in the lecture series. Like he gives keynotes for some of the biggest dental conventions in the world, right?
Yeah.
And here we are, a group of 20 of us with Dr. Meda
Mhm.
right there in front of us. We can ask our questions. In fact, he kept coming over and talking right in front of me and asking me questions because I'm on the front row.
Front row.
So finally, I'm like, please stop picking on me. I don't have all the answers.
What did you say when he asked you a question? What did you say?
I said,
I would
stop.
just do what Dr. Locke would do.
Oh yeah, I did. I said, I would
I'll
just do whatever Dr. Locke
would
does.
do.
Um,
It was
but
really funny.
again, so this part of the training, we didn't have models we worked on. It was all about
didactics
and
discussion
learning and case presentations.
Yes.
So we got to see some stuff that is so outside of my scope and skill set, stuff that
His soft tissue,
uh-huh,
soft tissue
stuff that
that's
I would never even consider doing, but it helped us see what's possible.
Mhm.
And then we got to see some really cool techniques
Mhm.
and ways that we can make our 3-on-6s even better.
Yes. Yep.
And so we spent a whole day doing didactics with him, learning about those things.
JMO would like you to stop doing things that put your health and life in jeopardy.
All right.
Like walking across the
Like
street.
walking across the street. I don't know what I was doing. It was,
yeah,
I'm with you. Everybody said the same thing.
it was actually really funny because for the rest of the night, especially,
I
got
could barely
made fun of-
walk.
He got made fun of relentlessly.
Yeah.
It was very funny.
If you trip in front of a group of people, the way you know that are your friends is they just make fun of you for
They
it.
just laughed. They
Nobody
didn't-
was like, "Oh, can we help you? Are you okay?" They're all just laughing hysterically while I'm stumbling across the street in Mexico.
Yeah. it was
Okay.
great. But so we got to learn soft tissue and
That's
a
correct.
bunch of different stuff from Dr. Mehta.
And we had a whole day,
Mhm.
morning session, break for lunch,
Mhm.
afternoon session, learning
Yep.
about soft tissue management, which is really good. Okay, so
And then
that
back
was
to the beach we went.
back to the beach. Every minute we could that we're not in the class, back to the beach.
We're
So
sitting there in like our regular clothes with our swimsuits on underneath. Like
you
ready.
were.
Every day.
You had your swimsuit on
Every
underneath.
day.
I had to go back to the room and change.
Yeah, not me. I'm ready. Let's go.
You were ready to go. Okay, that was Thursday. Friday. What happened at Friday's course?
Friday is when you gave your
I
presentation.
did.
So Dr. Roberts got up and gave a presentation.
If you don't know, Dr. Roberts is one of the founders of 3-on-6.
Yes,
Dr.
he's
Roberts
the-
and Dr. Locke.
It's his like little brainchild.
Yeah, those are the
Um,
founders.
But he got up and gave a case presentations that were awesome. And it was really interesting because he showed some that he considers not ideal. And I'm like,
Beautiful.
they look great. Yeah. And so it was really cool to see his level of perfection. Because I see like your level of perfection and things that I'm like, that looks totally fine. You're like, no, I'm changing that. Nope, I'm changing that. So it was
I'm not
cool to see-
alone.
No, it was cool to see that you're not alone in your
Pursuit of excellence.
pursuit of excellence. Yeah. But one thing Dr. Mehta said, which was interesting, is perfect is not possible.
He did say that.
And I thought,
Stop striving
Huh.
for perfect. It's not possible.
perfect is not possible, but and you're practicing dentistry. And I was like, interesting. Yeah.
That's a good point.
But I liked that you and Dr. Roberts have the same drive for excellence and for the best outcomes for your patients.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
That's so
It
nice.
was very, yeah.
So he also gave us some information about some changes at 3-on-6
For the providers.
for the providers. So
Incoming providers.
when I became a 3-on-6 provider, they were very specific about how much experience do you have and do you have surgical experience and are you capable of doing these types of procedures? Then we went,
How many implants have you placed?
Yeah.
How many, have you worked on sedated patients? Stuff
Yeah.
like that.
then we went to the corporate office up in Salt Lake. We had pretty much a full week training. So we had,
We went in January
Yeah.
to Salt Lake for an entire week. By the way, it snowed every single day we were there, and everybody there was like, "It hasn't snowed for like a month." I'm like, "Oh no, I'm here. Don't worry, it'll snow."
yeah, it did snow.
Mm-hmm.
So we had on-site didactic for days, learning the process and the methodology of 3-on-6. And then we did live surgeries on live patients,
When
sedated
they walked you
patients.
through how to do a smile design records appointment.
Right.
They talked a little bit about the consultation, but
Not
not
a
a lot. But how to do a 4-month appointment.
Yeah.
I mean, it was step by step.
So we did that. We did live surgery. Then we brought Dr. Locke on site for our first 2 cases.
Mhm.
And then we do all the continuing training, which went on for about 60 days. Of every time I had a consultation or I had a case, I'd meet with Dr. Locke. We'd go over that case together. We'd learn the methodology. So it's very extensive is
Yeah,
what I'm
all
trying
the-
to say.
All the planning was done together, and
Yeah. But when I did that at the time, there's a fee for that. I paid to go. I don't care if they're not going to care if I say how much it was, will they? Nobody's going to care.
it starts with a 2.
I paid like $25,000
Have
to
some
go.
zeros at the end.
Plus travel, plus
Yeah,
flights and hotel and plus.
And of
plus,
course,
And Tiffany, I
I
take her
went.
everywhere.
yeah,
So
of
she was
course I
there.
went. I
So
remember you did have to pay a little extra for
yeah,
Togo.
we paid
A little bit of
25 or 30 grand or something to go up and take the training. You can't buy yourself a license. You can't
No.
you can't be like, here's my money, make me a 3-on-6 provider. You have to go through the
Have to do
training. And then back then you had to do a certain number of cases
Mhm.
before they would let you
Before they would
call
list you.
yourself a 3-on-6 provider.
Right.
And these are cases you'd have to do, and then they work over those with you with one of the doctors. And then once they verify that you could actually do the work, then they would let you be on the
Yeah.
website.
And all that is just maintaining the authenticity of the brand.
Yeah.
And
A certain
maintaining-
level of
Mhm.
ability.
Because there was a patient not too long ago on Facebook that was like, yeah, I got my 3-on-6, blah, blah, blah. And she said that she got it in, I want to say like South
Turkey,
Dakota
Mexico.
or something. We're like, there's not a South Dakota provider. So no,
Yeah,
you
I
didn't.
remember this
And she was
conversation.
showing pictures of her temporaries and stuff. And
Everybody's
anybody,
like, those are not 3-on-6.
yeah, every single patient that's had a 3-on-6 that's in that Facebook group was like, this is not a 3-on-6. This is not a 3. And I was like, you don't even have to have a doctor jump in because
Yeah.
they're
How
taking
does
over.
the continuing education or the annual like education compare to like what other providers do for full mouth? That's not a 3-on-6.
Oh, Daisy just asked a really good
That's a really
question.
good question.
So she asked, how does the continuing education for the 3-on-6 providers differ from other providers that might just do all on X? I think that's really,
required.
it's valid because
Yeah.
to maintain your position as a 3-on-6 provider,
Yeah,
it's hard.
Yeah.
You have to attend or watch the annual summit training.
Mhm.
And then and that gets you your technical, your CEs for the year,
Mhm.
because there's so many hours of continuing education,
Right.
but it's all 3-on-6 specific. So everything we learn and do is just for 3-on-6 and just to augment our 3-on-6.
Right.
So any dentist, I can go take any training. I can go take a training on CPR or crowns or fillings or hygiene. I can go take any of these trainings that will count for my CEs for the year. But to be a 3-on-6 provider, they are all 3-on-6 trainings.
Mhm.
Because you don't often hear people say, "Oh, I went to my annual all on X seminar,
Right.
and you guys have all this
Yeah, that's a good point.
education."
There
to
is,
keep
I
up."
know there is all on X seminars. You got a Facebook ad for one yesterday and sent me a
Probably did.
screenshot of it. But you don't have to do any specific training to do an all on
Right.
X. Like any dentist can just wake up and decide he's going to do an all on X.
Well,
There's no specific training.
hold on, more than that.
Okay.
Okay,
Well, he can decide. Is he going to do it well?
so we were talking about Brandy's presentation because
Yes.
so what's coming down the line? Why this mattered? We got lost for a second. I got lost for a second. So the new protocol for bringing in a new provider, it just became even more difficult to
Mhm.
become a provider. It's far more expensive. It represents a bigger upfront investment. So the upfront investment for a provider moving forward is $100,000. And I want to impress upon everyone's mind who's watching this or will watch this, that this is not a revenue generating proposition for 3-on-6. You hear a number like that and you're like, oh, they're making money off training doctors. They're not.
They're not.
Because now what they're doing, which is so smart, is in that, to bring somebody on in that package, it includes making they have to have Dr. Locke or myself,
Mhm.
or I think Dr. Roberts.
I don't know if Dr. Roberts is doing them or not.
I
I
don't
know it. I know Dr.
So
Locke and
now
you are.
it's required to have one of the
Go out for your first couple cases.
mentors come out to your office for the first couple cases.
Mhm.
It's required now to do all these other things. It's required to have a certain level of completion done before you can be listed on the website. So what this is doing is it's making it so when somebody pops up a sign in their office in South Dakota or wherever and says, hey, I'm a 3-on-6 provider, we now have even more confidence in their skill set and their ability.
Right.
They will have the training, the education, the foundation that we know that when you go there to get your treatment, you're going to be getting the same level of treatment you're going to get anywhere.
When I think
Any provider.
as a patient, like when we were kind of talking about it, I was trying to think, okay, as a patient, that makes me feel even better because my doctor sought after this.
Right.
My doctor put in a huge amount of time and money to become this elite type of provider.
Yeah.
And it makes it it kind of weeds out the ones that are just taking a CE course.
And see, that's the thing is some people, some provider or some dentists were taking the 3-on-6 as a CE course. Like, oh, I can go learn how to do that.
Which happens at any, I mean,
Sure.
we go to Colorado Surgical Institute and teach, and you can tell the doctors that are there to improve their skill sets, and you can tell the doctors that needed the CE
They needed a
credits.
CE. But we would have providers that they'd be like, oh, I could do it. I've been to the course, but maybe they haven't done one for several months.
Right.
And if you don't go home and do one right away, it's really hard to bring all that information and knowledge back to your staff and your team and actually bring it in-house and actually do one of these cases.
Right,
So
right.
it can become pretty challenging. And this is just another way to help ensure the success of the new providers.
Yeah.
Ultimately,
And the quality that the patients are getting.
yeah, 3-on-6 wants there to be a 3-on-6 provider in every city or maybe several in major cities so that access to care is more readily available. I think one of the biggest hurdles we have for our patients right now, and I see it every day, is our patients are flying in from across the country. They're flying in from everywhere to come get the care they need.
Right.
But how nice will that be when we get to a point where there's licensed, trained, completely capable providers in every major area? It's just going to make it so patients can get access to care even more. So some of the changes that are coming down the line for 3-on-6 are just that. They're trying to make a higher standard of care for every patient and increase the access to care.
Yeah.
So that more patients can get access to the 3-on-6. So Randy talked about that during his presentation,
Yes.
which was great. And it's nice to see that the thought and the mentality and the direction from the corporate side, because we had like the CEO and the CFO and we have like the C-suite people from 3-on-6 were all there. And it was fun to have conversations with them about what the future of 3-on-6 looks like.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're thinking bigger than my brain even functions sometimes. I get very technician focused. I'm focused on this implant with this piece on it and this tooth in this patient's mouth. And they have the ability to step back and focus on how do we get more patients in the world access to this level of care. So it was fun to hear some of that.
Yeah.
That's coming down the
Yeah,
pipeline.
absolutely.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Yeah.
That I know that I see on the 3-on-6 group. People are always talking about there's a lack of providers, how you said, and the pricing keeps going up. How is this going to affect the pricing for other people? Is it going to affect it in any way?
So Daisy just asked, is this something like this? How would this affect the price of this type of procedure? Unfortunately, I think just like the price of gas, just like everything, we haven't had a price increase here for 2 years.
Right.
And I'm fighting against increasing the price because it just seems like it's more and more always, but our prices have all skyrocketed for materials, for supplies, for components, for everything we do. All of our prices are all going up. So I think as a general rule, this type of service, I think for a while it's going to keep going up, not down. It's not a commodity. It's not a race to the bottom. It's not, it's not Walmart. This is what's a really like that. What's a really high end shopping place?
Well, I think
Dillard's.
Nordstrom's or Dillard's. That's what 3-on-6 is.
Yeah.
It's not, and that's just the facts. That's just what it is. So by increasing more access to care, I hope it stabilizes pricing. And I just hope it keeps the overall expense for each patient lower.
Yeah.
Because right now they have the expense of the surgery and the procedure, but then my patients who fly in from out of town have the expense of time away from work and airplane tickets and travel. And
hotel rooms.
I don't know the last time you bought a hamburger at an airport.
Yeah.
That thing should be $7 and it's $25.
$27. Yeah.
So it just gets, I think more access to care will bring the overall price down that patients are paying for that type of treatment.
More accessible.
Yeah,
overall.
that's the goal, is to make it more accessible. Okay, so that was, then Dr. Locke. Dr. Locke gave some presentations.
Yes.
What did Dr. Locke talk about?
Mostly just case presentations again. And yeah, he had some beautiful tissue pics of
Is it a
some
weird
cases.
look? Like, Daisy or Bailey's giving me a hard time real quick. Hey, real quick. So if you haven't followed us, please go follow us right now on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube.
Not Twitter.
Not Twitter.
Not Twitter. That's not a
Reddit.
thing. What's that little orange guy? Reddit.
Twitter doesn't exist anymore. It's now called X.
Sorry. It all out.
And we're not on X.
Oh my gosh, that little ring that I fixed just broke. I can fix it later. There's 2 little silver pieces. Okay.
Dr. Emett has a watch problem and he's now giving Daisy a watch problem.
Okay. Hey, if somebody wanted to schedule a consultation or call our office, how would they do that?
They call our office at 702-710-9006. Or you can go to our website and there's a little form that you can fill out and we will give you a call back on Monday. The girls that do our phone calls here, Daisy and Amelia, are wonderful and amazing. I listen to their calls. Like I'll just be sitting at my desk working on something and I'm always like, how on earth did you go from talking to someone about teeth to being like, okay, well, really good luck with your colonoscopy on Tuesday and we'll see you next week. I'm like, how on earth?
Very
Like,
friendly.
yeah.
Very
And
friendly.
they always remember everybody's little, oh, you can't do
Something
that
about
day.
them.
Yeah, you can't
Yeah.
do that day because you have to pick up your kids. Oh, you can't do that day because of dialysis. I'm like, how do you remember all of these
So true.
things? Daisy's over here flipping her hair. She should. Yeah.
So that's how you get a hold of us. We'd love to see you
Call
here.
the office or fill out the form online.
And we're in Las Vegas.
Yes.
We are.
And if you're not, that's okay.
Yeah,
Call
most
the
of our
office and fill out the form anyway.
most of our patients aren't in Las Vegas.
Yeah, funny enough, our Wednesday patient was from Las Vegas, but our
Moved
next
away.
4 are not.
That is hilarious. Okay, so I had a
It's a
complete
really cool noise.
lost
I
my
can
train of
make
thought.
that. I won't do it again.
Oh no, I have a list of questions. Oh, so what I was going to say,
Dr. Locke was
guys,
here.
this is live right
Oh,
now. So if you have questions on Instagram, hey, we see you up there, down here on Facebook. We see you. If you have any questions, don't feel, please submit them. Don't feel bad about asking. There's no such thing as a bad question, but we have a bunch that were pre-submitted already if we're going to get to them.
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about Dr. Locke on Thursday. He
Yes.
just gave a bunch of case presentations.
Well, he started by opening my Red Bull and drinking half of it.
That's true, he
And
did drink
eating
it.
a bunch of my candy.
Okay,
before
but
we
not
went
about
on
that. How were the
But
presentations?
His presentation was awesome. He
Really
did
good.
some really, really cool case presentations. Some really, I would say, more difficult cases.
Yeah.
That, he was showing, different CTs and stuff that
And
he had
different
to-
technique.
Yeah.
And some
crazy.
technique that we're developing now to do a flapless surgery, which doesn't mean a lot to you as a general public, but ultimately it could lead to less postoperative healing time, less postoperative inflammation,
Mhm.
and just an easier healing experience. So we're constantly adapting and changing and doing all the things we can to make this as easy for a patient as possible.
Correct.
Because we have some advantages when we're not hacking off your bone like an All-in-X, where we can leave as much soft tissue intact as possible.
Yeah.
So he talked a lot about how he's doing that for patients right now, and it's working out really well.
Yeah.
So that was really exciting to see.
Post-op pictures were amazing.
And then the best presentation of the entire
The
event,
Best presentation was Dr. Jason
it's
Emett.
still with Dr.
He
Holtzclaw.
Dr. Emett gave a really, really great presentation on T-scan, tech scan, which is a bite analysis and helps doctors not only know where to adjust your bite, because that little piece of blue paper and yeah, bite on this, but that's really helpful unless you're hitting over here harder than you're hitting over here. The blue paper doesn't tell you that.
Yeah.
So he did a really cool presentation with that. I was his model. It was
Yeah, I had a
fun.
great model. She came up, let me
Yeah.
scan her bite for everybody so the
Mhm.
doctors could see how to use it. And then the doctors that wanted to came up afterwards. They got a little hands-on
Yeah,
experience.
they got to
with
they
how to
got
use
to
it in their own
use it,
practice.
and it was really funny how many doctors were like, because you went out and you were talking to Dr. Locke and John and all the what do you call it, C-suite guys.
Yeah.
You were out there talking about that and trainings and stuff coming up. So I was just hanging out with the T-scan guy and just chilling. And so many people were like, "So how often do you use this in your practice?" And I'm like, "Every day."
Yeah.
Like, is it so wide? But I'm like, it's the best thing we've bought in
A long time.
2 years.
It was
it's
just
awesome.
fun to see the willingness and open-mindedness of the other providers to be like, oh, yeah, that can help. And it's expensive. It's $10,000 and you're not going to use it on every patient every time. But for the patient where it matters, the money doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And so it was fun to have a lot of doctors be like, oh, that's good. And they're going to start to get it, which is nice because the more doctors that have this type of technology becomes more standard across the 3-on-6 providers. It just is one more thing we can do to help our patients.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yep. It's awesome.
Okay. So then we had another day to kind of hang out. I'm going to give a shout out.
Saturday was our wrap-up day.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. Then Saturday we did a little wrap-up session,
Wrap-up
pretty quick.
session.
We spent the rest of the day at the beach,
Dr. Emmett won a Garmin watch.
which
'Cause
is
that's
so
what he
fitting.
needed, is another
'Cause
watch.
I collect watches, and so of course I won the watch, which I haven't.
They picked it up and they're like, "All right, Garmin watch," and he goes, "Dr. Emmett," and sure enough, it was
I
your
won.
name. I was like, "Oh man."
Which is, what's sad though? I haven't opened it yet.
You haven't
I've had it
opened
for a week and I haven't opened it.
I'm shocked you haven't opened
I know, it's sitting in the box.
I opened my gift card. I want a gift card. And I was like, so weak. Yeah, my
Yeah,
gift
I
card, no.
haven't opened my watch yet, but I will this weekend, I think. I'm gonna look at it. And then we had the coolest experience on Saturday night.
To close out our little.
I'm gonna give a
vacay.
shout out to this restaurant. I don't get any kickback for this, but I should.
But it is
It is one of the most
incredible.
incredible restaurant experiences I've had in my entire life. What was it called? Oh crap. Will somebody look
Maybe,
up what the
what was it
restaurant was
called?
called Saturday? Okay.
Rosa Negra.
Rosa Negra. You
in
guys
Cancun.
in Cancun. And come to find out there's one in Cabo too.
Yeah.
So
We learned that
they're
the
close.
other day.
Anyway, we're sitting there having dinner. Very, very nice dinner. Very beautiful
It
restaurant.
was like what, 7?
Yeah,
I think it was like 7:00.
7:30 or something. I don't know. And all of a sudden, there's this loud song that came on the radio, and everybody
Super loud.
that works there started to clap on beat, and they stood up on chairs and on the tables and outside, and you stand
Everyone's
up,
facing the sunset.
and for the last 3 minutes of the sun going down behind the horizon, the whole restaurant stands and
It's like
claps
a
to the same
giant
song.
party.
I will join the religion right now.
I know.
If they will turn this into you just eat and clap for the sun every day, it was so fun.
We'll call it Del Sol.
Yeah, it was such a good experience.
It
So
was so amazing.
that was such a nice way to close out our trip.
The food was incredible.
Yeah, food
Like
was
if
phenomenal.
they hadn't even done the rest of it, the food was incredible.
And it's
but
right on the
then that
water,
was-
so we got to go walk
yeah.
down the boardwalk past all the other restaurants, and it was really
It
pretty.
was so cool.
So it's nice when 3 on 6 does these events in destinations, because we not only got world-class education, but we had world-class experiences, and we had such a good time. And we came back with our batteries recharged, and it's a good thing because we did surgery this week, Wednesday.
Next week we got
Next week we doubled up,
next week
Monday and
we got-
Wednesday, and the next week we're doubled up. So
Yes.
for the next 2 weeks, we're doubled up on surgeries just to get everybody in for their surgeries.
I was just looking at the cases on my desk. I'm like, sweet, I have the next 4 cases. I'm like,
That's only 2 weeks
it's only
worth.
2 weeks worth. I was like, all righty, then here we go.
So you guys probably know this, but we get booked out in the future.
Mhm.
And so when that happens, we start to double up some days to try to get everybody in when they want to.
Yeah.
Somebody came in the other day for their consultation and said, so will I have teeth by Christmas? And what blows my mind is I feel like Christmas was just like last month. I don't
Yeah.
understand how it's already May. This is crazy.
No, yeah, it shouldn't be. It should be March.
But people are already thinking that way.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, would I have it for my big
Will I have my
family for
finals
Thanksgiving?
for-
I've got a bunch of family coming. Will I have my finals by then? So just if you are thinking about doing this year, the time to reach out is actually now.
Yeah.
We're booked out for a little while to get you in for surgery, and then we want to try to accommodate getting you done by the end of the year. The time to get the ball going and coming in is actually right now. So
But
we'd-
remember, there's little things that have to happen before surgery, so it's not like
yeah, it's
Like,
not a
oh,
rush. I'm
yeah,
not just,
no
I'm not
rush.
pushing. I'm just saying I was shocked that that was on their mind, and then
Yeah.
we went, oh my gosh, we have to start thinking.
and when
about
he said that, I was like, I mean,
yeah,
yeah, technically,
Should.
but do we have to talk about that?
yeah, it's really wild.
I haven't financially recovered from last Christmas.
Okay,
Talk
so
about
we've
next
got
Christmas.
15 minutes left, guys. If you have a question right now, Instagram, Facebook, wherever you're watching this from, please submit your question. But I'm going to go down through some questions that were already submitted, and some of these I feel like we talk about all the time,
Yes,
but I think we talk about it all the time because they get asked all the
they
time.
get asked a lot.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what does recovery feel like day by day? Why don't you break this down?
Yeah. So we always talk to patients about the acute recovery, which is the first couple of weeks. Keep in mind that inflammation will go up for the first 3 or 4 days or so, and then it will start to come back down. So most of our patients say that if we do your surgery on Wednesday, that Sunday is your worst day. But most of our patients, and if you don't believe me, go watch all of our videos on Instagram and all these places. But most of our patients don't ever take more than just Tylenol and ibuprofen. A lot of our patients come in and they're already in a lot of dental pain. So the surgery is a different type of discomfort, but it's not what they've been going through
Such a
with
good point.
massive cavities and infection and all of that.
It hurts
So-
less than a tooth that needs a root canal.
100%. Yeah. So, and it's a different type of discomfort. A lot of patients say it's like a dull ache that is easily managed with some ice packs and Tylenol and ibuprofen. Whereas we've all had it, a tooth that's hurting is like that sharp, like, that's why you grab your face, because
Right.
it's like a sharp, you can't ignore it. There is no
So-
ignoring it.
The day of surgery, you're pretty much out of it.
Mm-hmm.
The next day, you actually feel pretty great.
So you feel awesome the next
Most
day,
patients
most
come in the
times.
office like, I feel great. Is this normal? Like, yes, it's totally normal. If I just say
We tell them the storm's coming.
yeah, storm's
just-
coming. The
just be
worst day is
prepared.
probably Sunday,
Mhm.
but most people are back to work on Monday. So if you work or you've got to be back taking care of your family and doing stuff, Monday, you'll be totally fine.
And then
So-
it gets better and
Better,
better and better and better and better.
Okay. Good question. Whoever asked
Okay,
that.
I'll ask one.
Oh, great. You pick one.
When can patients eat normal food again? That's a tricky
Yeah.
question.
So, ironically, a lot of patients who come in for a 3-on-6 procedure, they're already on a very limited diet. A lot of wiggly teeth, painful teeth.
Our patient that we saw yesterday, when I told her that she's going to be on the soft food diet, she goes, I already am.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, great.
So most patients come to us on a modified diet anyway,
Mhm.
but we put you on a soft food diet for 3 to 4 months. And this soft food diet can include almost anything you can cut with a plastic fork. And for most patients, that's more food and more options than they have had in their life for a long time.
Yes.
But when we get you into your final zirconia, you can eat anything. Anything normal teeth can do, your teeth can do. Corn on the cob, bite through a
Bite into an
steak,
apple.
bite into an apple, hamburgers, that kind of stuff. But for 3 to 4 months, you're on a soft food diet. But if you want to eat steak, cut it into small pieces and
Chew it real careful.
chew it real careful and swallow it down. Like, it's not about not trying to get you good food. It's just protecting the implants while they're healing. So let's see. No, a crappy upper denture and nothing on the lower, but I'm eating more now. So
Yes. Yep.
JMO says, crappy upper denture, but now she's eating more now in her plastic teeth than she was before. Was there a question from the back?
She just held
No.
up something, but it looks like a blank piece of paper.
Oh, got it.
It's written in
Oh,
yellow.
she can't read it because it's in yellow.
I was like, she literally held up a piece of, and it looked like this. I was like,
Tiffany
sure.
can't see the color yellow.
And if it's is it highlighter?
Yeah.
Oh, I really can't see it.
Okay, so your food options are actually going to increase even during your healing for most patients, but you're on a soft food diet
Now
for 3 to 4
remember,
months.
just because your food options increase does not mean you do not have to stick to the soft food diet. Listen, Egg McMuffins are out of the realm for just a few
Yeah,
months.
for most patients.
Yes. If you can't
And
cut it with a
pizza
plastic
is the
fork.
number one killer of bridges.
I actually
Still
made,
to this day, pizza.
I actually made fun of you yesterday because we warmed up pizza yesterday from Wednesday.
Yeah.
And you were cutting it with a plastic fork. And
totally
I was like, oh, we can eat that. But Dr. Matt's a weird thing about touching his food, so it's different. But I was like, oh, you're cutting that with a plastic fork. And he was like, I was using
Lisa
a
just
knife
said,
first.
excited for my upcoming surgery with you guys.
Yay!
We're excited for you.
Yeah, I'm super excited for
Okay,
Lisa. Super excited
we
for
only
Lisa.
have 10 minutes left. Okay. Do most patients finance this procedure?
Oh, yes.
Wait,
Yeah.
do you think most do?
In our office,
Yeah,
I would
what's the
say
number? What do you
I
think?
would say 80% or
Okay.
more
You would know,
finance
so talk
at least a portion. Yeah. So what? Right now.
From the back, somebody just yelled, somebody's
Yeah.
Daisy just yelled. Actually, lately we've had way more cashier's checks than
Yeah.
financing.
Yeah.
But we do get a lot of financing.
A
I'll let
lot
you
of
talk about
a lot of our patients finance at least a portion of the surgery. More and more, I think we're finding that patients have been saving for this. This is something that they knew they needed, and so they started setting money aside a couple of years ago, or even a few months ago. But a lot of our patients still finance a portion of the surgery.
Yeah.
So
And we have financing companies that we work with
Yep.
that can help you through that.
Yep.
If you have a decent credit score above 700, you have some good income,
Mhm.
people are getting financed. If you have a
if
lower
you
score,
if you own your home, it's amazing to me. The financing companies, they like fall over themselves
Would-
to give you
that's
offers. And I'm
what
like, oh, all right.
so yeah, we have some financing options to help patients with that.
Yeah.
Cody Hudson just wrote in.
Hey,
Pizza, sad face.
yeah, Cody, it'll be okay. It's just for a minute.
Just for a minute, we'll get
Just
you
for
back.
a minute. Think about all the pizza you'll eat once you're in your finals.
How do I clean my 3-on-6 daily? Oh, okay. Well, now ask me that one because I just mentally prepared for it. Act
How
like
do
you
I
just read it.
how do I clean my 3-on-6 daily?
Okay, so every day you have to brush your teeth at least twice a day, at least morning and night. Now, if there's any existing patients on here right now or they're in their healing, they will tell you that they probably brush their teeth 3 or 4 times a
Say
day.
way more often.
You also, after 2 weeks, will start to use your water pick, and you will use your water pick at least every morning and every night. But if you ask any of the patients who are live watching this, or you watching the videos, most patients are using their water pick 2 or 3 times per day,
Yes.
because every time you eat, you're just going to want to get all that stuff out of your gums and out of your teeth.
I think a lot of our patients go home and buy a portable water pick
So
as
they can
well.
have
So we
it
give you the
everywhere.
countertop one.
JMO just wrote yes.
Yes,
So
but-
she knows.
Yes.
So
I was one of those patients who
Yeah.
went home and got a portable one.
your daily maintenance of your implants oftentimes will far exceed what you were doing before your treatment. And then it doesn't end. It's not like you're going to get your finals and then just stop brushing your teeth. I say all the
Yes.
time, dental implants are not a free pass to stop brushing your teeth.
Yes.
You will do more taking care of your dental implants than you did of your regular teeth. But if you take care of your implants, they'll take care of you.
Yep.
So the daily maintenance is extremely important part of all of this, making sure that they stay clean.
I think Dr. Roberts had a good point during his presentation, because he had a patient ask him, how long will this last? And he says, as long as you want it to.
Yeah.
The second you stop wanting to take care of it is the second you're going to start having problems. So how long do you want it to last? And the guy said, well, the rest of my life. And he said, then take care of it.
Yeah.
And I was like,
If you're taking care of it, it'll take care of you.
Okay, I'm asking you another
JMO,
question.
In my defense, being a flight attendant demands
Yes,
the travel water
water
pick,
pick.
which was a fun for
Yes.
everybody that's getting a water pick for the first time. It'll make a mess,
Yes.
maybe for the first week. But the worst ones are the travel ones, because they do their own thing. They spray
They got
everywhere.
a mind of their
Yeah.
own. Yes.
But yeah,
Yes.
get your teeth nice and clean. Make a big difference.
I'm
Okay,
going to ask you another question.
I get another
because
one.
Yes.
Okay,
Because I think
you
this is
have 5
really-
minutes.
I think this is really important.
That's fine.
Do they feel like real teeth?
Do they feel like real
Do
teeth?
your finals feel like real teeth?
Okay, boy, I'm going to break this down so granular.
Because this has come up a lot recently with some younger patients
Okay.
needing this procedure.
Do they feel like my real teeth?
Yes.
Okay, they do not feel like real teeth. You'll hear me say all the time, they're just like real teeth. It is the closest thing you can get to real teeth. But I want you to envision, if you have a crown in your mouth or a root canal in a crown, that tooth no longer has the same sensation as the teeth next to it. An implant does not have a periodontal ligament around it. And the periodontal ligament gives you biofeedback of your tooth pressure position. That's gone. But these teeth are the same size as natural teeth.
Yes.
So it's as close as you can get to having natural teeth. And when you eat food, it will brush against your gums and you'll feel that sensation. So it's not like a denture where your entire palate or all your gum tissue is covered. It won't feel like that. It won't feel like an all-on-X where it's this big, thick, chunky prosthetic. They
Squishing against the lower.
Right.
Yeah.
They still, they will feel as close to natural teeth as possible, but it's not the same. So it will not feel the exact same as your natural teeth do. However, you will get used to it really quickly.
Yeah.
And most patients say, I don't know the difference. They just feel like my natural teeth. It's a different sensation, but the overall goal is that it doesn't affect your life one way or the other. I want my patients to just say, it's as if I never had anything done.
Yeah.
I just want it to be an adopted part of your life where you're not thinking every day, oh, my teeth aren't right, or this isn't correct. It should be something that you don't think about anymore. Your teeth are just there. They're beautiful. They're reliable. They're strong. They're part of your body. They're part of your life now, and you're not thinking about it. And so I promise you that you'll get used to it quickly.
I think for most of our patients, by the time they come in for that first 6-month cleaning, most of them say, yeah, for a couple of weeks after my finals, it was different because I could hear my teeth now because they weren't plastic. So they made a little bit of noise.
Yeah.
I was very timid to bite into things. I've gotten used to that. One patient was like, all I wanted to do was eat ice. And the first time she put a bunch of pebbled ice in her mouth from Sonic, she panicked, but it was fine.
It was fine.
Nothing happened.
Totally do it.
So I think most of our patients, by their 6-month cleaning, they're like, oh yeah, these are just my teeth.
Just part of who they are.
Just my
So
teeth.
yeah, that's a good question. Okay, so we have just a few minutes to wrap up. Again, Bailey's imploring me to hold up this sign. Do not follow us on.
Do not.
Yeah,
Do not
do
follow
not
us on
follow us
Twitter,
on
because
Twitter
we're
because we're not on Twitter. So we have TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Reddit, and YouTube. Find us at All Out Dental. If they want to call in, schedule an appointment, come see us for consultation, even a virtual consultation. We do those almost every day. How do we get scheduled for that if they want to call in?
Call the office 702-710-9006.
Yep.
And if you have any questions, our website is awesome.
Super helpful.
And it's like an open book. Any question that you have, it's usually on there. And if not, guess what? Just call the office. We'll answer it. We don't hide things.
No.
We're an open book.
This is who you get when you
This
come
is who
in.
we are.
So hope you like this. Listen, guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your Friday to join us in the live event. If you're watching this and it's already happened and you're watching the recording of it, just pick up the phone, call the office. If you ask your question here, it's not live anymore, but pick up the phone, call. We're happy to help you with it. We'd love to see you here in Las Vegas and help you change your life with your brand new smile.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Bye,
Or
everybody.
if you joined late, you can watch it on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
From the
If you
beginning.
join late, you can start over from the beginning
Yeah.
on
So
YouTube.
this goes up on YouTube
And
Almost
Facebook.
and
instantly.
Facebook
Yeah.
really quickly. So it's going to be live here in just a
And if you
minute.
do submit a question,
reports.
it ends up on our sheet. for
Yeah,
next
that's where
week.
these next
So
questions
Tuesday.
come from, are the question that gets submitted by the patients who didn't watch it live. So don't hesitate to submit questions. Thanks,
And now
guys.
you can do your outro.
Okay, bye.
Bye. I just want my Starbucks so
I
bad.
know.
I keep looking at it the whole
Leave
time.
studio. Bye, Instagram.
Bye.
See you guys.
Changes you made may not be saved. I don't know what that
I
means.
don't know how to fix that.
I don't know.
We're probably still live right now.
We are. Because it'll